Good evening, you're watching Brass Tacks. I'm Zakka Jacob. There is almost now incontrovertible proof about how Congress MPs were trying to ambush and garrow the Prime Minister in an almost pre-planned conspiratorial way. Union Parliamentary Affairs Minister Kiren Rijiju has put out yet another video today. A couple of days ago, he put out a video from the well of the House. This is from the Speaker's office. This was the video from a couple of days ago, and today he's put out this video in the Speaker's office on that very same day, by the way, when this whole plan was hatched and this plan was tried to be executed, where the Prime Minister was supposed to speak in the House in reply to the President's address, the motion of thanks to the President's address. What we see in this latest video almost corroborates what we saw in the House, with Congress MPs deliberately trying to garrow the Prime Minister, rushing across the aisle, going to just where the Prime Minister sits. Also, there has been a separate development. Some folks in the BJP have been contemplating bringing some kind of a motion against Rahul Gandhi. Initially, there was talk of a privilege motion. Now, a BJP MP has filed a substantive motion. It is basically up to the House, the Speaker and the House, to decide what to do about it because of the comments that Leader of the Opposition, Mr. Rahul Gandhi, made about Jeffrey Epstein, about Hardeep Puri, about some of these comments that came out after the Epstein emails, and more importantly, the allegation that he made that Mr. Modi and his government have sold India out and sold India's farmers and small businesses out because of Trump's chokehold. But first, I want to play out this video. This was released by Union Parliamentary Affairs Minister. He put out a video a couple of days ago, and now there's another video. In the first video that he put out, it was clear that there were Congress women MPs with a large banner right next to the Prime Minister's chair in the Lok Sabha, rushing across on the other side of the well towards the Treasury benches, where they were allegedly attempting to garrow the Prime Minister. The government claims that the MPs surrounded the Prime Minister's seat in a pre-planned ambush. The minister says the video exposes a coordinated attempt by the opposition to escalate the confrontation rather than pursue a debate in Parliament. Today, the second video that he put out was from the same day, the 4th of February, which shows about 20-odd Congress MPs entering the chamber of the Lok Sabha Speaker Om Birla. He claims the move violated parliamentary decorum and amounted to almost intimidation of the Speaker. Both happened on the same day. The video on the right was released today, the video on the left a couple of days ago. But the video on the right precedes, in terms of chronology, it precedes what happened inside the House. So it was in the Speaker's chamber first and then inside the House. Putting two and two together, the government's contention, the Parliamentary Affairs Minister's contention is that this is proof that the Congress MPs were deliberately trying to heckle and garrow and maybe even physically try to intimidate the Prime Minister. And that's why he was advised by the Speaker not to show up in the Lok Sabha to reply. What has always been a tradition in the Lok Sabha, where the Prime Minister replies to the motion of thanks on the President's address.
प्रियंका गांधी और वेणुगोपाल भी वहां मौजूद थे, लेकिन उन्होंने तो नहीं कहा, प्रियंका गांधी और वेणुगोपाल ने नहीं कहा, वो जो गाली गलौज करने वाले दूसरे एमपी लोग थे। तो अब ज़्यादा बोलेंगे तो पूरा तस्वीर सामने में आएंगे, वीडियो आएंगे, तो वो क्या जवाब देंगे। इसलिए अपना गलती मान लेना चाहिए। स्पीकर से न्याय मिलता है, वो चेयर होते हैं, और स्पीकर को ही गाली देंगे तो न्याय कौन देंगे।
अब्यूज नहीं किया। कुछ एक दो एमपी थे जिनको जो थोड़े ज़्यादा नाराज़ थे, तो उन्होंने वो एक्सप्रेस किया, अपनी नाराज़गी एक्सप्रेस की। और मैंने ये भी देखा है कि मैं पीछे से इनकरेज कर रही थी, बिल्कुल झूठे में चुपचाप बैठी थी। और अंत में मैंने एक दो चीज़ें बोली शांति से स्पीकर साहब को।
Now, in a separate development, BJP MP Nishikant Dubey has given a notice to the Lok Sabha, to the Speaker's office, for what he calls a substantive motion against Lok Sabha Leader of the Opposition, Rahul Gandhi, seeking an inquiry by a parliamentary panel into what he called continued misdeeds for destabilizing the country. Now, what is a substantive motion? A substantive motion is a self-contained independent proposal that's been submitted for the approval of the House, approval of the Speaker. It's drafted in such a manner as to be capable of expressing the decision of the House. If it is admitted, a substantive motion is then put to a vote so that they express the decision of the House or the sense of the House, as it were. It is also laid down that the mover of this motion has a right to reply. Now, when questioned about this motion, the substantive motion that's been brought against him by a BJP MP, Rahul Gandhi ended up shooting the messenger, which is the media. He started losing his cool at the journalists who were asking him this question.
Not totally employed by the BJP, at least try and do a little bit of objective stuff. You know, it gets really shameful. It's too much. You have a responsibility to be objective. You can't just take a word they give you. You're doing a disservice to this country. Are you not able to recognize that?
That was when Mr. Gandhi was asked about this question about a substantive motion being brought against him for what the BJP says were blatantly false allegations that he leveled against the Prime Minister, against Hardeep Puri, against certain other individuals, basis the Epstein emails. I want to go across now for a full-fledged face-off on this. RP Singh, national spokesperson of the BJP, J.B. Mathur, Rajya Sabha, a member of Parliament of the Congress, Smita Prakash is editor of ANI. RP Singh, the Congress's contention is whatever the leader of the opposition said, somebody should counter that on the floor of the House. What is this whole business about, bringing privilege motions, substantive motion, etc., etc.? And as far as the videos are concerned, anyway, the minister should not have released those videos. That's again a breach of parliamentary privilege, whether it's the video released today from the Speaker's chamber or the video released of the well of the House that was put out a couple of days ago.
Well, firstly, the video has not been released by the minister. It was earlier in the social media. He just released it, and he said that it is not right to make videos of the chamber when you're talking to the speaker. But what is seen in the video, that's more important than the contention of the releasing of the video. Well, they are abusing, or they are being very rough with the speaker itself. Because I couldn't hear the complete video. But as Kiran Rijiju is saying, that there is a lot more which is there with the parliamentary secretariat, where they are abusing the speaker. If it is the level of new level or the new law which they want to work in the parliament, that's the question. But coming to your core question of Mr. Rahul Gandhi, he comes up with a chapter in a book which has been so-called, he says book, then he says it's a magazine which has earlier been reprimanded by press council for saying that army is being rough with the Kashmiris, or they are trying to torture the Kashmiris.
No, but now he's left book and magazine and all. Now he's on emails. He's on Epstein emails.
That was the contention of the our friend who has moved the substantial motion against it.
Yeah.
That's the basic contention. That how can you reveal the secrets of the army because you want to score some brownie point, so you reveal the secrets of the army, and that's what the question is. And then how could he quote something which is not still being published, which is the publication?
That is the previous matter. What about what he said yesterday? Epstein files, Hardeep Puri, Mr. Trump has some chokehold on the Prime Minister. That's what he said.
Yeah. It is actually the voters who have chokehold the Rahul Gandhi, and that's why he has lost 95 or 96 elections, election after election, and that's why he does all this rhetoric in the parliament, which is supposed to be a serious place of discussion, not rhetoric. He winks sometimes, he goes and hug the Prime Minister other time. He forces himself on he forces himself on the Prime Minister other time. But fact is that when he spoke about Epstein, did he? And although the fact is that the minister has categorically stated yesterday in a press conference where I was with him that yes, he has given the complete details to the leader of opposition, because sometime back he winked and said that you have been seen at a lot of places, and that's why the minister has given a date also where he has followed all the data of what his relationship is with the Epstein. But again, then trying to build up something. As if.
J.B. Mathur, I'll come to the Epstein stuff in a second. But these two videos, the government's contention is, first was the video in the Speaker's chamber where you can see Congress MPs on a dramatic fashion trying to get out the Speaker, shout back at him, argue with him, etc. And then a few moments later, there's the video from inside the House where the women MPs, some of your colleagues from the lower house, can be clearly seen crossing over the aisle, going to the Treasury benches, standing next to where the Prime Minister sits with his massive banner. What were they trying to do? They were not there to give him some sweets or chocolates. They were there to gerow him. They were there to heckle him. Put two and two together, it shows it's a well-planned conspiracy.
It is the very brilliantly how the political narrative is being set. Now video after video, script after script, and then one climax is being set and told by the government, and is the nation going to just accept it? Now in the first video itself, what is there in the first video? Opposition MPs are in speaker's room. Now that's not something abnormal. There are several occasions where MPs go to speaker's room, and we put forth our demand. Nobody is attacking speaker. Nobody is saying anything abusive. Now, if what we are demanding, that cannot be termed as something attacking the speaker.
They are pointing fingers at him. They are arguing with him. They are pushing back at him. I mean, come on, it's not just, they were not having tea and samosa there, no?
No, I do not agree. See, it is, we certainly MPs, there is no restriction that we cannot go to speaker's room. Speaker's room we can go, we can share the concern, we can ask, demand justice, we can ask that our LOP should be allowed to speak. Now
they were pointing fingers at him. They were trying to heckle him.
I mean, allow me to complete. You gave so much of time to RP Singh ji. I am being interrupted. I did not even complete. I am still at the first video. You gave so many minutes to him. Allow me. This is what is happening. Whether it is media or whether it is parliament, you will not allow, you also will not allow.
I am not Om Birla. I definitely don't want to be heckled. Please speak.
No, certainly. No, this is, because otherwise you should have objected to RP Singh ji.
No, I asked him 3-4 times. What about Epstein? What about Epstein? He didn't answer, but go on. Finish your point.
Now
come to the second video.
So first
now come to the second video. Second video.
Speaker's room. Nobody is attacking. Nobody is, there is no form, any sort of attack. Now coming to the second video. Second video also, it is quite natural that the way of protest in parliament, this is not the first time protest is happening. We have seen at the time of UPA government how the BJP MPs have garrowed the Prime Minister, then Prime Minister Manmohan Singh ji. And also, let me also go to the third narrative. After the script, first video, second video, then the narration is, oh, the Prime Minister would have been physically assaulted, attacked. Has it ever happened from any of the Congress MPs or opposition MPs that Prime Minister been attacked? So there's a narrative being set, and the government thinks.
What were they doing? Crossing over the aisle, standing there with a banner. You can see Congress MP Jyotimani encouraging her women MPs, come to this side, come to this side. What were they doing? Were they standing there to give him a hug and give him a box of sweets?
Come to that side. See, even Rajya Sabha, we have done that. It is nothing new. You search your files of your old videos of when UPA was in power. You will see when Prime Minister Manmohan Singh ji is speaking, there is everybody standing there and throwing papers at him, at ministers.
Okay, Smita Prakash, this is democracy, loud, rough and tumble, humdrum, all of that. Nobody had any intention of attacking the Prime Minister. Nobody had any intention of any violence in the House. This is the contention of the Congress party.
No, question is,
let Smita respond. Yeah, let
occasion.
Let Smita Prakash respond. Yeah.
Yeah, so it seems like this is going to be a continuous process where it's happened before, so it's going to happen now. And the sad part is to say that this is a part and parcel of parliamentary protests. The sad part is that regarding the second video about who shot the video, and people saying that it was on social media or it was not done, that this is not right, it shouldn't be done. The point is that it's 2026. I think the members of parliament as well as everybody else should take it for granted that there are cameras everywhere, and if they are not visible, then they are as drones, and you are on camera. Just take it for granted that you're on camera. So any kind of gestures that you're doing inside the house or in the presence of the parliament, it's going to find its way into social media. So take that for granted and conduct yourself with dignity. Otherwise, this is what is going to happen. If you are raising absurd slogans or making rude gestures, that's going to be played out on social media, and you're going to become a meme, whether you like it or not. And if your electorate and people who voted for you like your behavior to be like that, then good luck to you when you go back to your electorate if they are going to like the way you have been performing in Parliament. And I don't mean that for the Congress MP or the BJP MP. I mean it for across the board. The second part that you're talking about as to whether there was any risk to the Prime Minister. One thing is for sure, that if the BJP felt, even for 2 seconds, when they felt that the women MPs of the Congress party had come and they were trying to gherao the position where the Prime Minister sits, immediately the marshals should have been told to take the women MPs back there. Pleading with folded hands is not the way out. I'm sorry, but I have a problem with that. If they felt that there was in any way, there should be standard operating procedure, that if the Prime Minister's path is via a certain area, and if that place is gheraued by any mortal, the Prime Minister's safety is utmost. We have lost one ex-Prime Minister and one Prime Minister to terrorism. We cannot afford to lose another one. I'm not saying at any point of time that the members of Parliament are terrorists, militants, or threaten the Prime Minister. No, that's not what I'm saying. It is just that if at any point of time the path of the Prime Minister is not clear, then the SPG or the marshals or whoever is in charge of the Prime Minister within the presence of the Parliament, they should clear that path for the Prime Minister. And if the Speaker felt in his wisdom that his security was not something that the Speaker could guarantee, it is the wisdom of the Speaker that you have to take. Okay. It is not the intent of the parliamentarians that we have to go with. It is what the Speaker thought was right at that moment. And just one more point I want to make is that the public trust has been completely eroded on parliamentarians in this session of Parliament. It is a budget session. We needed a discussion on tax. We needed a discussion on government policies and programs. We needed scrutiny of our members of Parliament and the opposition. We did not need this tamasha, which has been evident in the past week.
So, RP Singh, let me come to the second part. Now, one of your MPs has moved a substantive motion against the leader of the opposition. Now, he is making the same point. He's saying, I wanted to quote from a book. They didn't allow me to speak. I have now made some allegations against the Prime Minister, against the oil minister, or basis these Epstein files. Again, they want to expunge it. I mean, if people don't speak in Parliament, and if privilege motion is going to be moved against the leader of the opposition for speaking in Parliament, then where will he speak? And two, I mean, please come to Parliament and clarify. Minister is giving a press conference, you said yesterday. He's giving interviews today. Why doesn't he come to the floor of the House and clarify so that the people of India know?
Zakka, there is a procedure, there is a parliamentary procedure, and the member of parliament is sitting here. He would know better than me that there are norms of speaking in Parliament. You have to first submit what you want to say, and if you are going to put allegation on someone, that you have to, then you have to put document and substantiate that beforehand, so that the person should be ready for the answer also. It's not that I get up tomorrow morning and say, I see Rahul Gandhi doing something which is not as per the social norms. But this is how Rahul Gandhi is. That's what I said. He thinks he's still a dynast, and then he can do away with whatever he wants to, and then his style or the highway style. But again, I will make a small point. As Smita was saying, I mean, blocking and unruly behavior are also not the parliamentary norms. The women member of parliament were blocking the path for the Prime Minister, and also there could have been their behavior could have been unruly because they were carrying those banners and all. But coming to this point of our motion, which was brought by our one of the member of parliament, that is that you speak about a former chief of the army without any evidence. I mean, just because something has been published in some magazine, you speak about that, then, I mean, that's not the first time he is doing so. He has done it many a times earlier also, where he speaks without any substantiate evidence. And then when you are asked to do so, he said, I'm prepared to. Then there is a proper procedure. Before you put an allegation to anyone else, then you have to at least ensure that you put a document on record.
Okay.
You put everything on record so that person can, he accused the minister of something, Hardeep Puri ji. Now, Hardeep Puri ji, there's nothing which was put on record. So Hardeep Puri ji has to obviously go and tell it to media that what exactly happened and how did he met Epstein and what exactly he spoke about the country. But the way it was presented, that there's some scandalous thing which was happening.
Okay, Javi Mathur, I mean, the point is, if the leader of the opposition wants to make grave allegations against members of parliament, against ministers, against the prime minister, then he better back that up with proof, with documents. And that's what was asked. That was what was asked by the parliamentary minister. And of course, the speaker at that time, the chair of the house at that time said, you please produce the documents, let the documents be vetted, and then you make whatever charge you want to make.
So, again, it's a different rule for the treasury benches and different rule for opposition. Anybody from the treasury benches can stand up and then say whatever they want. There's no authentication required, there's no proof required, there's no document required, the mic will not be silenced. But anybody speaks from opposition, then the authentication is required, proof is required, the mic is immediately turned off. Be that as it may, we have no hesitation in giving the proof or giving the authentication which Rahul Gandhi ji was willing to do. Now about this bringing in the substantive motion, see about 60 minutes, 62 minutes exactly back, Rahul Gandhi ji himself has put in, tweeted that you can bring a case, you can file FIR, you can move privilege motion, but I will stand with farmers is the stand taken by Rahul Gandhi ji. See, you should understand that it is not the case that you come up with substantive motion or privilege motion or a case that Rahul Gandhi ji can be silenced. Rahul Gandhi ji cannot be silenced because he is speaking in the interest of the people of the country, of the farmers of the country, of those who are going to be affected. And in the President's address, he was speaking about national security. Here, what is the issue? The issue is you will not let Rahul Gandhi speak. And when he speaks the truth, the facts, then the privilege motion, all these threatening of these weaponizing, all this is happening. But let me make it very clear.
Okay.
You can do anything, you can bring in any motion, but Rahul Gandhi ji will continue. They should answer why instead of going on Rahul Gandhi ji's they should be answering the concerns raised by Rahul Gandhi.
A quick line and then I'll give Smita Prakash the final word. Yeah.
They should be answering why the 1,000 crore
Okay, JB, we heard you. We heard you, JB.
They are suffering.
Yeah, we
now
heard you.
every sector is suffering. They don't want to answer all that. They want to bring in substantive
family, not by a dynasty. And it's not the dynasty which will rule and dynasty will decide what to do, what not to do.
Okay.
There are rules set of rules.
I'll give Smita Prakash the final word. You know, again, this puts paid to what Rahul Gandhi has been saying. I wanted to speak about China. You didn't let me speak. I spoke about the FTA. You didn't let me speak. I spoke about Epstein files. You're not letting me speak. The government says you can speak, but you have to speak from published public documents or you have to substantiate whatever charge you're making. Again, we're stuck.
No, it's not substantiate, it is authenticate. So it is, as far as to substantiate, he's quoting the magazine. But for authentication, he needs to put the book. And the publisher has said that it's not a book. The book has not been published. So then what is it? It is just, if he has got that, it is a manuscript and it's a dummy copy. The book has not been published. So you cannot authenticate. So which means that it is not an authentic document. So the publisher himself has negated it. The author has tweeted the publisher's thing. So, you know, it's all murky now. I don't want to get into the semantics of it. I just want to say this, that what has happened in this budget session has set a precedent for future paralysis, whether in the parliament or in state assemblies, because every
what about the Epstein
in each session,
emails?
it makes it easier for future governments.
That's a public document. That's there in the
as far
Department
as the
of Justice
Epstein
emails,
email is concerned, this was supposed to be right. Correct. It was absolutely. The speaker's point was that you cannot quote that right now because the permission taken was to discuss the budget. The permission was not for talking about the Epstein files. And what they are saying is that the Epstein files had nothing to do with India right now. It had nothing. Actually, if you go to see, the hell I care what's in the Epstein files, you know, frankly. Has it affected in any manner the policies and programs of Government of India right now or in the past 10 years? It hasn't. None of the documents released. Some random person got, I'm just saying, giving my point of view, some random person was given, said, oh, apply in this place for a visa. That's all that has happened. I've heard a couple of interviews of Mr. Hardeep Puri, whether he comes to Parliament and says that, or whether he has given it into television channels. I'm just wondering, why should it be something discussed in Parliament?
Okay.
I'd rather have the budget. I'd rather have the Indo-US trade deal discussed and have the opposition question the ruling party about that. That is what affects everybody, whether farmer, industrial worker, exporter or common citizen. Why is that not being talked about?
Okay, we'll leave it at that. Thank you very much to RP Singh, J.B. Mathur and to Smita Prakash for joining us.